Well, welcome everybody to On Point Live. We're here at Rams training camp here at University of California, Irvine. Jackie, and today is the first day the Rams have full gear pads, and we're excited to be here because this is the time where everybody gets excited about football. You know, the fans are going to be excited this year because there's so many new faces. They're so young and talented. Kevin Demoff was telling me over 50% of the guys, there's 80 guys reported to camp, that 50% of the guys are either rookies or first-year players, Jackie. So I notice a lot of teaching and a lot of schematic things that are going on out here that's almost, it's very intuitive as far as I'm concerned. And you've noticed a lot with the offensive line and the defensive line.
Well, when I was looking at the offensive line over there, Ryan Wendell, the new offensive line coach, who I think is going to make a big difference with the production of this group. He was doing meat and potato stuff, Vince. You know, lead stepping to the front side, lead stepping to the back side, good hand placement after you make contact. Those are basic fundamental things that a good offensive lineman must be able to do consistently if he's going to be successful, whether he's run blocking or pass blocking. So we saw that over and over and over again. And then we looked at some of the defensive linemen. I thought it was interesting when we first got here, we saw Aaron Donald sitting on the sides there. While
on the red ball over there.
While all of those young defensive linemen were out there going through the moves and everything. And I wondered, what is Aaron Donald thinking right now? I mean, half the guys out here, he don't even know.
Yeah, right. No, exactly. Who's going to play alongside of me? That's what he's thinking about, Jackie. I need some help here.
Absolutely. And he's sitting there watching these guys and evaluating these guys and probably thinking to himself, man, I'm going to have to be a monster because these guys are going to have great example. And you know they're going to get that from Aaron Donald.
Right. And we saw Desjuan Johnson out there too, Jack. He looks like a second Aaron Donald incoming, right? Because he's so quick and off the ball. But, you know, the entire team, Jackie, seems to be more intuitive. They're more into it. I mean, there's a lot more activity because there's a lot of spaces that are open. I mean, there's a lot of positions that need to be won, right?
A lot of competition.
And there's competition. And what I noticed, Jackie, there's a lot of communication between after the drill with the coach and with the player and teaching. There's a lot more teaching, which I think that's perfect.
It has to be. It has to be. You can't assume that everybody is Andrew Whitworth. You can't assume that these guys have been around as long as Robin Havenstein.
Right.
You are going to have to assume that these guys are wet behind the ears. They do not know what they're doing. They got to learn the playbook, and then that's just half of it. Knowing what you're doing and knowing who you're supposed to get is half of it. The rest of it is knowing how to get them. You got to know who to get, and you got to know how to get them. And so the coach, the coach better be telling them right now what foot to step with and all that. Otherwise, we're going to have some problems down the road.
Well, you know, we noticed a few players that are not in gear today, Jackie, and that's Matt Stafford. You know, Cooper Kupp is kind of relegated to just minimal practice. But, you know, when you think about that, you think, wow. And you asked me a good question. Is how much chemistry, how much time do they need to develop their chemistry? Well, this is something that's already been taught and already learned. It's just you have to refresh it, Jackie. And so you got to get out here and work, and you got to work at full speed, Jackie. So that's going to be very, very important, I think, moving forward. But here, it's an opportunity for some of the younger guys to step up and show what they can do and become a vital contributor to this team.
Right. You know, I was watching one of the first team drills that I watched out there, Vince. I looked at the first couple of plays, and they were running plays. They inserted the ball in the line of scrimmage. One thing that Sean McVay did today that I really liked was he took 6'8", 330-pound Rob Havenstein, and he pulled him all the way across the formation, had him kick out a lineman, and inserted the ball behind him. That's a tackle trap. This is the kinds that play and plays like them. I saw him run a couple of other things that were kind of unique that I hadn't seen before. And I think that those are some of the things that Sean and this new offensive line coach are introducing to this young offensive line right now, and the veterans, so that they can have the versatility that they need to be successful running the ball. They have to run the ball, Vince, to protect this young offensive line and to protect the quarterback on pass downs. If guys don't think you're going to do anything but throw the ball all the time, they're going to sit there and pin their ears back and just rush the pass all day, and this offensive line is not ready for that.
Jackie, you know what? There's so many guys out here today. We saw Ivory Seller. We just saw Jim Everett walk by. Did you see Jim Everett just walking by?
I saw
and you saw Roland over here.
Roland Williams.
Yeah, Roland Williams over here.
Starting tight end for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl back in St. Louis.
So, I mean, there's a lot of guys coming out to watch, too. But I agree with you, Jackie. When I first saw them go 11 on 11, okay, what were they concentrating on? Run plays.
Absolutely.
Okay, running plays, different variety, as we
Right.
mentioned. Okay, so Jackie, that's going to be very important, and play action pass.
Right.
No drop back
That's
passing,
what we saw.
Jack. That's what we saw.
They probably in the first.
So what
8
does that
plays,
mean? What does that mean, Jack?
They're tying. They're going to run the ball. That's what it means first and
All right,
foremost.
that's right.
And you know, when you think about it, Vince, when you have young guys, whether they're backs, what they want to do is run with the football. Period.
Yeah.
And when you have a young offensive line, what they want to do is come off and hit you in the lips and beat the pass rush out of you. So I think Sean McVay realizes that. Just looking at the handful of plays we saw in that first team period, they came out and they did play action pass off a running game. Running game, then play action pass. I think that's the way you build the nucleus of a solid, well-informed, technically sound offensive line, so that we won't have any more situations where Matthew Stafford has a pain in the neck radiating down his side.
We
don't need that, man.
You have to be able to protect the quarterback, Jack. The best way to protect the quarterback is running the football, play action pass, keep them down and distance, observable downs, so that you get first downs and you're not third and long all the time, Jackie, because that's disastrous for any quarterback. And how many times was he hit last year and sacked? You don't need to have that for any quarterback in the league. So I think they're off to a good start. And you know what, Jackie? No one's won any spots yet over here.
No one.
So
there's a lot of
everything's wide open. So there's going to be a lot of competition going on at every position. Jackie, we're going to see a lot of new faces.
Yeah, we might have to come back and see what it looks like next week, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of competition that's going to have to go on, like you said, and then there's a lot of refinement, because in my mind, I'm thinking we might see a lot of what we saw in New England with the Patriots when Tom Brady was there in the running game of the Patriots. And in my opinion, that was one of the most sophisticated running attack in all of pro football during those years when Tom Brady was being celebrated as a passer.
And now they got the coach to do that, Jackie. Ryan Wendell, he's very experienced. He really is knowledgeable on the offensive line. It's going to have a great impact on the way they run the football. So we want to remind our viewers, Jackie, that we got some good interviews coming up. We got a couple good ones with Stetson Bennett, the quarterback from Georgia that's joined the team, and also Steve Avila. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see their comments.
Did you see how wide Steve Avila is? I mean, he looks like what does he look like from behind, man?
Wow, man! I'm telling you, weren't they both teammates at Georgia, right?
Yes,
they were.
Yes.
So we'll get
national champions. No. Avila went to TSU.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
TCU. So they played each other in the national championship game this past year.
Right. You're right.
You're
exactly right. Well, we really look forward to that interview, Jackie. It's going to be great. So we want to continue to remind our viewers to continue to watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And, you know, we're here now live, and hopefully we'll come back to Rams camp. But it's going to be a great season this year. So stay tuned. And until next time, stay on point.